Hi friends, Andromeda of Earth here. We're going to chat about this next week. We have, goodness, it's the 5th. Here while I rely on my computer to tell me. Through the 11th of April 2020. It's gorgeous outside. I admit all I want to do is be outside right now. And rightly so. The sunshine is so healing. One of the best doctors we could have. Besides water. Water and sunlight. We really couldn't do or be much without either one of those. Got the Rider-Waite, the Albano-Waite deck for us today. For our weekly pulls, we do a 3-card spread. Know, show, and grow. The devil popped out. Opposition. Being in bondage. Feeling like we're stuck. With a figure on top of us looming before us. That's an interesting energy to pop out. And what does the devil mean to you? I personally enjoy the opposition, the concept of opposition. And I think it has to do with my love for free will and unconditional love and holding space for all things. There's room for all things to be. That's why I'm very far from an evangelist and all these things. I simply want to open up some space to let messages come through if we need them. So, if the messages resonate, awesome. If not, they weren't for you, and that's okay. I welcome any and only benevolent beings to this space. All others are banished. I welcome any ancestors, any ascended masters, any angels or archangels, any ancients who are of divine will and universal law are welcome here. Any beings, named or unnamed, who are of benevolence and want to assist in conveying messages to humanity, to any and all earthlings and beyond, are welcome to this space as they are in alignment with divine will and universal law. Hail and welcome. I love you. I thank you. I am sorry, and please forgive me. I trust you. No. The star. So this guy here, we've got to focus on Aquarius energy, right? It's air. It's Saturn going into Aquarius for a 2.5-year cycle. It's going to go back into Capricorn, but then it'll move forward again. It's receiving the light and abundance and the nourishment in the water from up above. Aquarius is an air sign, right? The water bearer, as we see here. But it is so far up in the sky that it's not really from here. It's from the powers from space. So far up, it's fixed. You know how space has no gravity, right? Unless an object floats on by, then gravity occurs. But if you were just out in space and you had no thing to maneuver off of, you're sort of fixed and floating. Could be a very unsettling kind of space for someone who's not used to being so high up. But the star is letting us know that we are receiving the light that is coming to us. There's no way to stop it. The cosmic blessings, the cosmic rays that come to us as we travel into space and new space all the time. The Earth is traveling so fast. The ship we're in, oh my goodness. Our star of the solar system, so our closest star would be the sun, right? Speaking of the sun and the power of the sun. Now this no is also synonymous with our head, and the second card, heart, and the third, balance, but it's also our past, present, and future. We have been receiving new and ancient celestial rays forever. This is not completely new territory, in that us humans and us earthlings, meaning all animals and all beings on this planet, are made to go through these evolutions. You know, the apocalypse doesn't have to happen in the way that people want to envision it, or the way that people have told us to see it, to imagine it. You know, let's use the power of our heads to imagine the reality that we have signed up for, and that we want to be in. You know, I don't know what this little bird is up here. Do you see this guy? He's like up is red. It went and focused and then it came back out. See if I can burn. Speaking of bird outside. Okay, there we go. I don't know what it is. You know, it's kind of a big bird in this little tree. It reminds me of a stork. Even though it's red, it's got like that big long beak, sort of like a stork. Really majestic beings, actually. I don't know if you guys know much about Polish culture, but that's one place where the storks really like to migrate and be. But anyway, in Poland. But anyway, I've never really seen that image before in this deck, and I just saw it and I'm like, wow. Like, of course, storks being associated with birth, we are birthing the now all the time. All the time. And actually, a lot of our experiences of now were actually birthed in the past. Right? This is a card of the past. And even though things are born and created and put out into this world, whether it be an art piece or a human or whatever, we have no control over that, and it evolves over time. And what it was is not what it has to be or needs to be. And we can't control those things all the time, right? Of course, we can have some semblance of control from time to time. We are powerful. We are as powerful as we want and need it to be. I had a card fall out of the deck. I don't know whether it was the top or the bottom. I'm just gonna put that there. Either wasn't supposed to be there or something. I don't feel like we were supposed to see that. So anyway, yeah, our current state of being, our effects, you know, were created from causes that often are in the past. And whether we continue to bring those past causes into our future, into our now, into our future, is completely up to us. You know, being that we always have power and dominion over our own mind as long as we want to have it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're like, I want to unplug. You know, I don't want to think for a little bit. And you know what? Fine. Fine. You know, there's a period. It's a good thing to have a period of awake and a good thing to have a period of sleep and rest. Both are required for a balanced human being. So anyway. Show. So in our heart space this week. Ooh, that's fun. 10 of Pentacles. So I see the Tree of Life with Pentacles, you know, a very completed whole. I see, you know, a family, you know, in the foreground, and an elder, or a family in the background, an elder in the foreground, being, you know, companions with a couple of dogs. You know, this person definitely looks to be some form of royalty in the sense that they're wearing this really elaborate cloak. It's gorgeous. I wish I knew some of the symbolism, some more of the symbolism. I have a book I've been getting into. Maybe this is my cue to figure out this 10 of Pentacles. So our physical journey, you know, our earthen and earthly existence has come to some sort of like wholeness, completion, and it has to do with groups. I think of 10, I think of, you know, big societal kind of experience. I mean, we've all had a hand in creating what is our current reality and situation, social situation, health situation. We all had a hand, and we all have a hand in it. You know, it's interesting. I just heard this and saw this, is that, you know, this person here, the elder, you know, may like look or act like royalty, but they're not wearing a crown. You know what I mean? It's like no matter whether they've been given that official designation, validation, recognition, they're still living the life of a royal, which is, in my definition, someone who lives unconditional love and who lives love, truth, our natural state of being. I'm going to get out the Wildly Tarot deck because I love the associations that Esther and Holly have created, and to be able to have kind of like a quick reference of the cards without going through, you know, book is to me very priceless. So right on top, not too bad. So inheritance, success, and contentment. The Wheel of Fortune archetype. The Wheel of Fortune, it's like this completion, you know, it's just like being completed can either be good or bad. Like there is no such thing specifically for that. You know, it's kind of like the luck of the draw. You know, whatever hand you get dealt. You know, that's really not the important part. The important part is how we define success. You know, how we can be content. You know, in just being with our family, just being with our companions. And see the little kid in the background there. It's blurry. I wish it wasn't. There we go. You know, all the food they have here in the foreground. I mean, there is abundance here in our heart. It's already here. You know, all the nourishment we need, all the companionship we need, it's already here. It's with us. There's nothing that we're lacking. You know? So feel the wholeness of that. Maybe that can help bring us a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? It's not comfort. Solace? Something like that. I know not everybody is used to being like stuck at home, and I'm not saying that we need to get used to it. You know, I think there could actually be arguments for all sides that we all just need to go about our business and do our thing. You know, if we would just stop radiating our world, maybe our bodies could handle the things that we come into contact with, and then we become stronger as a species afterwards. Anyway, I didn't really want to get into it, but just kind of like sometimes we get into our own opinions, and that's okay. So anyway, grow. Right? Our future. Where are we going in this current now of where we are in this trajectory? Remember, the future can always change, at least in my knowing. We're that powerful. The past is the present is the future. They're all connected. Our balance between our head and our heart would involve doing something about something. You know, there is movement, there is change, there is growth. And it's the kind of growth that's, you know, you don't know. I gotta get away from saying that. I was out of that, saying, you know, and then I got pop back into it by watching people that kept saying, you know. We are so adaptable. So I was going to say also Cancer. It's the kind of movement that is, I don't know if it's safe, but we're protected in a way. You know, like he's got his structure, his vehicle, you know, and he's got his shade, and he's got the protectors around him. They're pretty safe, you know, and they're going somewhere. They're making stuff happen. I love the curtains that they have above them being the starlight. You know, it's the same kind of images that we have on the star, on the top of the star. It's like this guy here, the growth comes from taking the star and then taking like a full home, you know, full completed set of like, you know, material, physical, but also like earthen. So it's got like all the things in it, you know, and you get that and you put it together, and you got movement. Now, these people aren't just gonna be, they're not gonna thrive if they just stay here forever. No one's gonna thrive if we just, you know, stay in our homes forever. That doesn't work. This society doesn't work like that. Now, granted, you know, it would actually work better if we were in smaller little communities, you know, local little organized groups of people, you know, maybe a village kind of situation, you know, because big metropolises, yeah, while the energy is enticing, believe me, I know, I've lived in the city, it's just not in alignment with nature. You know, you just can't grow enough food locally for millions of people. And maybe if we changed our ways, you know, and I think that's really what's happening is people are beginning to think about, oh, how can I use the space that I have? You know, what can I do to be more self-sustaining, to buy more locally, to have less waste? You know, it's just we're all asking ourselves questions of how we can get to where we want to go. I think right now we can practice a little bit more faith and trust that we are going somewhere. You know, do we need to like figure out our vehicle a little bit more? You know, we gotta fix the brakes, we gotta like do the thing, you know, but it's kind of like on your mark, get set, go. Very fun. Got a full moon this week. Coming up, a full moon in Libra. That'll be exciting. See if we can get some more balance. Hanging around. Yesterday and today we had Jupiter conjunct Pluto. So if you had a lot of a magnifying of an ending or deaths or transformation, you can definitely thank those two celestial bodies. Things are happening and it's beautiful. It is all of it. Our response can be beautiful. So thank you guys for being. I'll have part 2 posted up on Patreon as soon as possible. I'll most likely do that tomorrow. Thank you, folks. We'll talk soon.